We are now joined on the line by political analyst Professor Tinyiko Maluleke. A very good evening to you, Professor. We thank you very much for your time. Firstly, Justice Raymond Zondo has asked former President Jacob Zuma to depose of an affidavit. Is there still a possibility that the chair can still subpoena him if need be?
Well, the commission has absolutely the power to subpoena him. It is quite interesting that Justice Zondo seems to take a more lenient approach to not just to President Zuma, but to many other witnesses. He seems to want to wait for them. He does have the power to subpoena them. Of course, he doesn't have the power to make them speak once they have come.
Definitely. Indeed, very crucial elements to this case. Today we saw the Guptas were denied the right to cross-examine witnesses. Of course, with that comes the possibility of not even giving testimony. Where does this leave the Commission in terms of staying intact and withholding credibility without the Guptas?
Well, I don't know that it is a comment on the credibility of the Commission. But it does mean that the Commission's ability to reach useful conclusions will be limited. It also does mean that the Guptas are denying themselves the chance to make their own case in this instance. And one suspects that they are waiting, if you like, for a court of law rather than a commission to force them to come and appear, and that will, involve the two countries coming to some agreement about that.
In terms of that, in the news coming in this evening, the SABC does understand that the National Prosecuting Authority had in fact met with UAE officials on the sidelines of that prosecutors conference today in Sandton, Johannesburg. Although it was very informal and no confirmation there from the NPA boss to possibly extradite the Guptas, do you actually see this bearing any fruit?
Well, I think these are early days. I think that if any fruit is born, it will be a long, drawn process, because I don't see the Guptas just folding their arms and not fighting the issue. So I think this will be a protracted battle if indeed South Africa does succeed to force them to come here and give evidence in collaboration with the United Arab Emirates.
Thank you very much for your time this evening. Short and brief, that was political analyst Professor Tinyiko Maluleke around some of the developments on those judgments that were handed down around the State Capture Inquiry Commission.